All right, man. So I'm back. Your boy is back. I'm gonna talk about some random topics. I've been out of it because, to be honest, I have my particular goals on what I want to do with the channel and how often I want to come at it and my normal daily life and it sometimes get in the way and sometimes I make hella excuses. It just is what it is. But I'm gonna start putting myself back out there because I have a lot of information. I feel like there's a lot of people out there talking and yelling on the internet, and most of them don't really even have much to yell about. There's people that haven't done no research. They're just talking. They're just trying to throw out propaganda. There's paid shills. There's everything going on in the world right now. So I wanted to at least try to come in here and let y'all know what your boy Bay is thinking about shit. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so we're gonna start on a topic. I'm gonna come straight here to my Twitter page, and this is something recent. I'm still actually waiting for a reply because I know I'm gonna get them. You know what I mean? But it's gonna make for some pretty good content for the topic. So like as you can see, this dude here, you can tell by the nigga's name right here, Mansa Hercules, FBA, Pan Africanist. Um, I don't know how you could be a Pan Africanist FBA. I mean, you can. I don't want to say I don't know how you can. Pan Africanist is just basically the thought of all black people are one, and you can still separate yourself or delineate yourself and say you're FBA. But he says, okay, so let me just kill this we're indigenous argument. I'm tagging everyone that was in this convo, and then y'all can reply when y'all want the proof. When y'all want with proof. I can't read today. I'm sorry. And so he tagged several people here. And so I had to come down here and hit him with most people are putting books and stuff. So I had to hit with a couple videos, you know what I mean? Let me let you take a listen to one of these videos.
But you think if there were benefits for them, suddenly freedmen would be coming from Yes. all across the country? Yes. Let me tell you what it looks like from the outside, though. It looks like the freedmen fought wars, died with you, moved on the Trail of Tears from Florida to Oklahoma with you. And now suddenly there's a big pot of money. Let's exclude them.
That may be true to some extent, but I don't think that's all of the reasons for what has happened.
He also says the red and black Seminoles have just grown apart over the years and have little in common today. But that's not how Sylvia Davis sees it. She's hired Will and John Veely, two young attorneys who specialize in Indian law. But you think if there were benefits?
So as you can see there, you have a what I call a fake imposter, red Mongolian Asian, maybe even Mexican, more Portuguese Mexican, current chief of a tribe in Oklahoma, admitting to us being natives, admitting to us fighting alongside them against the white man in the wars, admitting to, yeah, hey, I mean, everything was good and kosher until that bread came. And when that money came, hey, we had to start putting you out, and that's kind of where where he came from. But that just shows proof that at least they know, you know what I mean? So it's not like we're just claiming this Indian claim just to be saying the shit. It's not like our grandmas and grandfathers and great grands and whoever have been telling us these stories. Not like they haven't been telling us the truth. You know what I mean? They've been trying to white us out. They've been trying to wash us out of history as not being the real Indians.
If you had any black blood in you whatsoever, you were a freedman.
So it didn't matter how much Indian blood you had. Just
Right.
any black blood,
Right.
you went on a separate roll.
Right.
And on
If you had any black blood in you whatsoever, you were a freedman.
So it didn't matter how much Indian blood you had. Just
Right.
any black blood,
Right.
you went on a separate roll.
Right.
And on the black Seminole roll, it doesn't list that you have any Indian blood.
That is correct.
Did
So that right there is a black man saying it. And, you know, okay, you hear from a black person, but I mean, that's another person saying that, hey, they tried to basically change our names or change our roles and say we're not no longer Indians, we're just black people. But let's look at one other thing.
And runaway slaves and runaway slaves and runaway slaves and different Indian tribes sought refuge together and later fought the white man. Joe Opala, a history professor at James Madison University in Virginia, says that from the beginning it was a melting pot tribe. So these people all banded together and somehow became Seminoles?
Became Seminole, and in fact the word Seminole is not even an Indian word. It is derived from a Spanish word, cimarron, meaning runaway slave. And so from the beginning, you don't have an Indian tribe. It was a multi-ethnic coalition.
Now, that's them telling some of the truth. He says from the beginning, you have this multi-ethnic coalition. And maybe at some point it became that. But at some point there had to be, before there could be a multi-ethnic coalition, there had to be a regular coalition, or I should say a one ethnicity, one ethnic, one ethnicity, goddamn, was over that coalition. Or at least there was no coalition. That's between two people. I'm over here talking stupid shit. That was just one people that were here. Was it them or was it us? One thing we can say, if you want to say, hey, it was so far long back that maybe y'all both was here. But one thing you can't say with that is that we was not here. Now you might want to say, well, yeah, y'all came over later, and then in the transatlantic slave trade, and then you escaped, and then from that escape, then you became friends with the natives, and then y'all started fighting. That's not what they said, and that's not what's in the history. In fact, if you actually watch that full news episode,
from the beginning, you don't have an Indian
you'll
tribe.
actually hear them talk about how we was the main ones whooping ass. The black
documents their close
Indians were the main ones whooping ass for 300 years out there in the Seminole Wars. So while they were just more of the red ones, were pretty much more on the lazy side. They didn't know how to fight as well. They didn't know how to do agriculture like we knew how to do agriculture. They didn't know how to build like we knew how to build. All kind of different things. So that's one thing. So one thing people also I had to go ahead and post was another video here. Was this is what they used to feed us. In fact, I found this long ago. This is the kind of shit they used to feed us to start the whitewashing. See, back then, all you had to do was put out a few videos, change a few documents, whatever, and next thing you know, the lie goes on. You know what I mean? Especially if you're the dominant society of the land. So it wasn't hard for them to put out certain things. But let's just watch one of these old videos to see what it says.
In fact, their dress was a likeness of the white man's, contrasting sharply to the traditional Indians. For example, Sequoyah, the legendary Cherokee, had only passing respect for color, as seen in his famous turban. But
the legendary Cherokee, which had only a passing respect for color. Hold up.
In fact, their dress was a likeness of the white man's, contrasting sharply to the traditional Indians. For example, Sequoyah, the legendary Cherokee, had only passing respect for color, as seen in his famous turban. But otherwise,
you got a white man in a turban, and he's a Cherokee Indian. But
color, as seen in his famous turban, but otherwise looked as if he could have served in Jackson's cabinet. His name was George Guess, but in Cherokee, Sequoyah and his legacy.
His name was George Guess. He said, but basically he could have said he looked like he could have served in Jackson's army. What does that mean? He looked like any other white man out there. That's what he means. He looked like he could have served for Jackson's army. And so he looked like any other white man out there. And what else did he say? They said his name was George. George.
Sequoyah and his legacy is all around. His name was George Guess.
George Guess. George, and the word Georgia, there's a Georgia in Europe, I think in Germany or somewhere over there, but there's some Georgians over there, you know. So I mean, the word, his name even comes from a culture that's from over there, but his name was George Guest, changed his name to Sequoia, put on a fucking turban because he's fucking confused, and all of a sudden he's a Cherokee chief. Now, if you sit here and you believe the shit, you believe the stupid shit that they're telling you, they're literally telling you that he looks like a white man. But let's keep going.
But in Cherokee, his name was George Guess. But in Cherokee, Sequoia and his legacy is all around us. It was he that devised by himself a system for his people to read and write.
He devised by himself a system for his people to read and write. Who was his fucking people? Europeans, but now they're the Indians. You know, they're the Cherokees. Let's keep going.
In fact, their dress led the Cherokees for more than 40 years. In every way, the man led the Cherokees for more than 40 years. In every way, the man of style and charm in 1832. Ross and Sequoia demonstrate forcibly the widespread intermarriage between the 5 tribes and white missionaries and early European pioneers.
I mean, they're telling you right there, they expressed this is at least what they're telling you. They're saying that there were intermarrying between them and white missionaries, between red natives. They didn't really say the black ones. They just said natives and Indians. And they're saying that they intermarried with the settlers and shit like that. Come on now. Did they intermarry with them? Because they intermarried, they gave them automatic access to be the fucking chiefs? Come on, thinking about it like this. Yes, they want to say it like this. Hey, yes, if a white person or somebody was to marry a chief's daughter, then all of a sudden everybody would have to make you the chief once, you know, you would be next in line. Fuck that stupid shit. Come on, man. Are you as a people, if I go to Nigeria, do you think just because I fucked the hell and whatever out of some Nigerian princess that they're gonna make me the whatever? I guess I can't say it's such a far off thing because of course it happens in the monarchy, but that's the main thing that happens at some point. And at some point, they said this dude ruled for 40 years. Who needs a white person to rule over you for 40 years? They try to make some kind of excuse about it later as far as, well, they had a good intermediary between their people and the white people kind of shit. But really, in my opinion, it's a bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of the white settlers and pilgrims and the missionaries or whoever the fuck came over here and they started to cause havoc and actually started to enslave and tried to fight off Native Americans and Indians. And we kept fighting with them, but over time we decided to allow them to kind of, we tried to work with them or something of the sort. We tried to work with them. I don't know who the hell decided to make them chiefs. And even today, when you go right now and look at the, I had this pulled up before. You can easily pull it up. Let's pull up, I think it's Choctaw Indian Chiefs history. And I might have should have put in history. It's either Choctaw, Cherokee, but there is a particular page that I'm looking for. Choctaw, Cherokee, maybe Cherokee. I would know by the. I think it's not Windstar. Either way, I really want to find this. Choctaw, Chickasaw. It might be Chickasaw Indian Chiefs history. Because I've been to the website before, so I feel like it should just pull up. No. And I know the casino in particular, when I see the website, I may have to come back to it. But one thing that I do know is on the page it shows a historical list of all the chiefs. Some of them didn't have photos, many of them did, and most of the photos were white men. There was a few in there that looked like some Asian, Mongolian type people here and there, a few of them here and there, but most of them were just white men. So what it says is that they came over, they colonized, they kept the tribal groups in their said categorical groups or whatever for the land, excuse me, but they turned around to control, excuse me, to control of the people and put and place their people at the head. It's similar to what they do in a lot of situations. Like when they sent black people over to Liberia, they selected certain black people. Even over here, we have certain people that come over here, immigrants that are placed in between here, certain buffer groups that we talk about all the time as foundational black Americans. But a lot of times people just think it's just some bullshit, but these people place people in certain positions in order to do what they need to do. And so I'm still kind of waiting to hear back from what this dude has to say. And there's going to be a lot more that I go into as far as topics go on here as far as about the Native American thing, because I am Native American. I do have it in my blood. Apparently my family is on the Dawes roll, Dawes rolls, ROLLS. Um, and and we're in the process of trying to see about getting some type of benefits for it as well. But a lot of us didn't really know until more recently. Some of us, some of the family members just started doing the research. Me, I just did some research. I'm not going to get into it. It's a long story, but you know, we're on our way to finding out more about who and what we were. And a lot of people in Oklahoma already knew. A lot of my friends, not a lot, but some of my friends had Indian cards, straight black, blacker than me. You know, everybody want to look at me and be like, no, yeah, you definitely look like you got some Indian and you look at you because I got the light skin, my nose just kind of got the shape and whatever the case may be. But I had friends that were darker than me, didn't have these kind of features, whatever, just regular looking black ass motherfuckers that was that had the Indian card. Not only did their family know that they were Indian, but they went through the process. Like one of them was my old best friend, and he's no longer with us. But you know, he went through the process. They got their card. They started getting free health care and all this other stuff. So it's not a myth. It's not a myth, and they all don't look light skinned like me. You know what I mean? So we're gonna talk about some other shit. You know, let's see what else we got. You know, there's one thing that came out. There's one thing that these Democratic shills do is they love to pay people to talk to black people in a negative way when it comes to dealing with topics about voting and things of that nature. So a lot of times what they start doing is it's almost like they put him out there and they tell him, cuss them out real quick, throw some F-bombs at them. You know, tell them they're stupid and they don't understand voting and they don't understand politics. Because in a sense, politics, because it's not that it's hard, is that they know that by mass, in large, most people are not fully engaged into the process. They're not watching C-SPAN and CNN, or they're watching CNN, but they're not watching C-SPAN and which is like 3 or 4 of those, and some other Congress channels and other ones, and the local news and going to the town hall meetings and getting all the ins and out that they need to make a really informed decision. So as soon as they tell you, you don't even know, what's going on. Well, first of all, you internalize, you like, oh, well, shit. I really don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? I just want to do a couple of things here and there, whoop wop, you know. And that's how they get you. And they shame you as if you're wrong. No, bitch. You supposed to be the one that teaches motherfuckers what's going on. You supposed to be the one. We vote representatives in to represent us in whatever political processes that need to go on. We're not voting ourselves in to get in there and learn the whole process and we might as well write the bills. We might as well put forth the legislation ourselves and put out the votes. And you talk about filibusters and other little stupid ass shit. None of that shit matters a lot of the times at the end of the day, especially knowing that the DNC, the Democrats, I can't even talk today, especially knowing that the Democrats had a majority in the office, in office. I mean, while Biden first got in office, I can't even talk again. Obama had a majority when he first got in office as well. I didn't know much about that. Well, what does that mean? That means anything you put forth can likely go through because the majority of the people that are there to vote for you are Democrats or on your side. So you go ahead and you have the ability to put hardly almost anything through. They still choose not to put shit through for us. And they think that we ain't paying attention enough to start noticing these patterns. It's a whole new age. Let's just go through some of the ways that they talk to us, just a few of the people, just a few of these motherfuckers. And let's just see how they talking at us. Okay, hold up. Let's see. Sorry.
Grow up. Grow up. It's like you don't even understand politics. Okay, politics, it's just this. Okay, it's a sports game. And the elections are the matches. There's no other time to get involved. So if you want to do something,
Hold up. Let's start that
grow
over.
up. Grow up. It's like you don't even understand politics.
What did I say? What did I say? He's an influencer. First thing he tells you, grow up. Grow up. You don't even understand. I mean, politics is just this. It's just some imaginary thing that you don't know. What did I tell you? To try to shame you, to get you to even first start even listening. Let's keep going.
Okay, politics, it's just this. Okay, it's a sports game. And the elections are the matches. There's no other time to get involved. So if you want to do something, now's the time to step up. Oh, so you're mad. You're mad because Joe Biden is supporting some war crimes. What the fuck do you think a president is? Okay.
Throwing some F-bombs in there. What the fuck do you think a president is, huh? You stupid motherfuckers. Okay? You should fucking die. You don't know nothing about nothing. Like literally, what is this? This is how y'all talk to black people. This is how they pay motherfuckers like this to talk to black people in this kind of way and to think that that's going to force us to vote. And in some cases, it does get some of these stupid motherfuckers out there voting because y'all ain't paying no attention. You'll say the same shit. Just listen to what he just said.
So if you want to do something, now's the time. Okay, politics, it's just this. Okay, it's a sports game. And the elections are the matches. There's no other time to get involved. So if you want to do something, now's the time to step up.
Just basically saying you ain't did nothing this whole time. So if you want to help out a little bit, at least bring your ass out now. And you may internalize that and say, you know what, I only voted for the last election. I really ain't been out there. It ain't your fault. In a sense, yes, we should be a lot more engaged. But it's up to the government and the people out there and even the president to put forth education and information to help us better understand the process so that way we can make better decisions. I've seen other presidents and leaders do it on a major level. Hell, I've seen Gaddafi put out the Green Book. He had a little green book and all the people in the motherfucking country knew everything in that motherfucking book. And it had a lot to do with what their processes were and a lot to do with why they hate the democracy that we have in other countries because a lot of it's fake democracy. But also, I know Cesar Chavez when he was, Hugo Chavez, when he was in office, he out there in Venezuela, he would actually host TV shows where he would first of all, they would give information on the politics and the government and the economy and stuff live on these, TV networks. You know what I'm saying? Here the president is really giving this on a, not daily, but a continual basis, maybe weekly or something like that. So people always was informed. But on top of that, he was taking calls from people. He would take call-in calls just like they would on some of these shows today and start to hear from the people what they thought and what their problems were and what he can do to help and what's the process and whatever the case may be. So, I mean, he was the motherfucking president. Today over here in America, we try to say he's the president. Do you think he has time for all that? Hell yes, he has time for all that. Do you see how many times you've seen these presidents go to golf courses and dinners and speaking engagements, I'm sorry, and all this other random ass shit? Get out of here if you think that they can't spend some more time informing the people on how to better navigate the process of this democracy. So let's keep it going for the punk ass nigga right here.
Oh, so you're mad. You're mad because Joe Biden is supporting some war crimes.
He's supporting war crimes like the Israel war crimes that's been going on, like the ones where they're blowing up babies and everybody's actually seeing it. See, this is one thing I'm going to be going off on and really going into on another day, a topic about how the war you don't see has now turned back into the war that you do see. At one point, we used to be able to see the wars. A lot of the press correspondents, reporters, whatever, was always, able to go to these war-torn areas, just freely, and they're risking their lives, but they're trying to get a story and they try to tell what's going on. And for the most part, most wars allowed that up until about the Vietnam War. The Vietnam War basically started. That's when they started barring. There's a documentary called "The War You Don't See" by John Pilger, and they basically started barring out a lot of these press agents, press reporters, and things of that nature, and journalists and shit, and basically was like, look, if we're gonna show anything on TV, it's gonna come directly through our people, which means the journalists will be sent with military guides and they would be told what they can and cannot show, and they would be told the type of narrative that they're supposed to say about whatever they're going to show and all this other stuff. So then you got this whole era of people not being able to see what's going on in other countries, and so people are bombing, and that's when you got Afghanistan, and was easy to and Iraq was easy to bomb because and tell us any kind of stories because it was just hard to really tell what the truth was. There was not a whole lot of video cameras. There was definitely not a lot of cameras in everybody's hands. There was no internet like that. It was just real. Everything was still up and coming. But you have a today's time. You have I can't talk today, but you have today's time where technology has now taken over every facet of our lives to where everybody has a fucking camera in their house, in their hand. And not only do they have a camera in their hand, most people have a wantingness to want to be seen, even at the last end of their days. If they're out there fighting in the battlefield, I've seen it in the Ukraine wars and other ones, they're fighting out in the battlefields and all this other stuff, and they videotaping themselves, getting killed. Some of these people are wearing GoPros as they go out on these missions, and they're uploading the footages of them being killed on GoPros. And I want to say that's kind of crazy, and that's a little bit too far, but at the same time, people need to see this. People need to see what really goes on. What stops a soldier from really wanting to continue to do the carnage and rampaging that they really end up wanting to do? Typically, is close encounters, fighting up close with people and seeing the carnage and having to actually stab and kill a person and multiple people and the scary things that you feel in your life, the smells, the sounds, like that is enough to make you want to be like, look, man, fuck this. This ain't for me. This ain't for nobody. But when you take that away from the people, we're not going to revolt as much because it takes a multitude of people to come together to stop a corrupt leadership that's sending a bunch of people out to do devious shit in other countries. So I've said this kind of stuff for years. Now you have the war that you do see. Everybody's seeing the stuff that's going on in Israel. Everybody's seeing these babies being bombed and stuff. And I was one of the few. John Pilger did videos way back in the day, as well as other people who talked all about these wars. He had cameras out there showing people. I was crying long ago, more than 10 years ago, watching babies being pulled out of rubble, being blown up, body parts shot, all this other stuff. I've been knowing this stuff is going on, and I've been trying to say it takes a lot of people online to make make noise that eventually wakes up the masses to start making more noises in the street to eventually help to curve some of the decisions that are being made by the military industrial complex. So I be seeing a lot. But let me get back on it because I can go on that forever. You know, that's why people, and he's saying that Obama is, so you're mad that he's supporting some crimes. Yeah, nigga, we hella mad he's supporting some crimes. Nobody wanted to see babies getting blown up and killed. They gonna blow up a hospital and be like, oh, we blew up the hospital because Hamas was under the hospital. So we had to blow up the hospital on top with the kids in it to get to Hamas under it. You see, they used them as human shields. Fuck out of here. And the crazy thing is, people are not gonna believe this stupid ass shit no more. Now you gotta say this shit out of your mouth. They used to be able to just print the shit up in motherfucking papers, print it up on print, and this and that. People believe it, and you just go on about your day. Now you gotta come out and we get to see you face to face on camera and tell us a motherfucking lie. And we can tell what the fuck you lying about. We can see the little lying ass cues you got going on, hoe ass motherfuckers. But anyways, let's get back on these niggas real quick because I'm way off topic and I can do that sometimes.
What the fuck do you think a president is? Okay? That's what they're supposed to do. And they're supposed to fill their administration up with as many war criminals as possible. My question to you is, do you want those war criminals to all be white men? Or do you want some of them to be women of color?
That was the end. Super cringy. LGBT dude, and he's women of color. But on top of that, he said that the president is supposed to place people, warmongers within the cabinet. And that's what he's supposed to do. Is put not peacemongers, warmongers. And would you like some of those warmongers to be women of color? No, nigga, I would rather not have warmongers. Are you stupid? This is one of the people. But of course, let me go to the next one because I'm going to try to get through this because I have some shit I got to do. But let's go to the next shit. The next one. This is somebody they pay. He dropped F-bombs. Watch this.
So here's the thing that I don't think that people get in their pushback to my post about voting. Here's the thing that I don't think that people get in their pushback to my post about voting for democracy and not voting for a fucking person. The fact is, folks, if you decide to throw away your vote or decide to stay home because Joe Biden and our democracy is not perfect, then what you are ensuring, right, is that 2024 will be our last election. Donald Trump is telling us all of the quiet parts out loud. He's not playing. When he said that he was going to ban Muslim people from this country, he did. When he said that he was going to put undocumented people in camps, he did. When
Waiting
he
for
said that
the
he was going to
F-bomb.
break up families, he did. When he said that there were good people on both sides and told motherfuckers to stand back and stand by, they did until they ransacked our Capitol building. So, folks, when he says that he's going to throw political opponents in insane asylums, when he says that he's going to build camps, when he says he's going to indict every motherfucker, believe him. When he says that he wants to operationalize the military, here's the thing that I don't think that people get in their pushback to my post about voting for democracy and not voting for a fucking person. The fact
Oh, I missed that one. So that was 3 F-bombs. There was 3 F-bombs just to get your attention. Do you think that there's white folks being paid to cuss out other white folks into being Trump supporters? Maybe there are. I don't know. Let me not say this, but that doesn't mean that these motherfuckers ain't being paid. You know what I'm saying? And what kind of stupid ass logic is that? First of all, she's right here.
is, folks, if you decide to throw away your vote or decide to stay home because Joe Biden and our democracy is not perfect, then what you are ensuring, right, is that 2024 will be our last election.
Nigga. America has had elections 300, 400 years or more. We've had elections over and over and over and over again. Never has there been, even up to this one, never has there been talks of, you know what, if X, Y, and Z happens, this could be the last election we'll ever have. But you leave it up to these stupid motherfuckers. They gonna tell you that this is the last one. This is why you vote. You vote because if you don't vote, then next time you go out, you won't even be able to vote. Nobody will be able to vote, nigga. It's over for all of y'all. Fuck out of here. Who would believe you? Who would believe this logic? What kind of idiots do you take us to even be? Y'all niggas is idiots. Y'all are fucking weirdos, moronic, fucking degree nobodies that sit here, get paid. You go through life, you get this whack ass degree, you can't get a good job, and so somebody's got to pay you some bread. So you take that DNC money and you get out here and you spit this bullshit in order to keep your position as a paid shield or an eventual legislative body of somebody who's going to work at the legislature or be a representative or something or whatever the hell they offering y'all. But it ain't worth your motherfucking soul. Whatever the fuck they offering you, it ain't worth your motherfucking soul, bitch. And let's just look at one last one real quick that really pissed me off.
Okay, baby, so I feel like you're the one who's leaving diatribes over there on my Instagram post about this, and now you're over here in my comments. So let me just say this. My husband and I talk about this a lot, and we frame it around home makeover shows, right? Like, you know, the... Okay, baby, so I feel like you're the one who's leaving diatribes over there on my Instagram post about this, and now you're over here in my comments. So let me just say this. My husband and I talk about this a lot, and we frame it around home makeover shows, right? Like, you know those home makeover shows where they give the owner of the house a sledgehammer and let them go to town on a wall, knocking it down, breaking it down, burning it down, whatever, right? It's because demolition does not take any skill, right? Unless you are trying to preserve something, unless you're trying to preserve the foundation of the house, or you're trying to preserve like the support beams of the house that keep the roof from falling in on your fucking head. Other than that, they give the owner a sledgehammer and say, go crazy. Because demolition takes no skill, and because the homeowner has already trusted that the developer and the builder is not going to allow them to break down anything that is important or super important to the structural foundation of the house. So all of y'all out there who are hollering about vote third party or don't vote for the Democrats or don't vote for Joe Biden or whatever, y'all are the homeowners with the sledgehammer just wanting to swing away and tear down everything. But some of us out here know how to read fucking blueprints. And we are trying to tell you that, baby, if you want to burn it all down, you're going to burn down your support beams. You're going to burn down the structural foundation of the house, and you're going to be left in the fucking rubble. Then what? Now, listen, I understand. You have big feelings about this, and I get it. But you have to also think and strategize and be smart and look at the fucking blueprint and realize that if you burn it all down, you're going to have nowhere to fucking live. The GOP, they got emergency tents out back, baby. You don't have any of that. So while y'all are hollering about burning it all down, what do you have in the interim?
None of this has anything to do with anything. Nobody's burning anything down. Nobody has real tents. This is all a goddamn metaphor or euphemism or whatever. And you are sitting here just talking fucking bullshit. Nobody's talking about tearing it all down. Just because you vote third party don't mean you tearing anything down, bitch. We voted third party. We voted for somebody, a president who we thought could work. That's what you do in the presidential election, bitch. You don't just only vote for the two people. You vote for who you think is going to work. If we decide to do third party, we decide to do third party. This bitch later tries to make some bullshit excuse that you all don't even know how to fucking get a third party on the fucking ballot. How you gonna, if you're going to tell me he doesn't fucking do this in every state, how do you fucking know? But up here, I'm going to show you later. A post that shows about Robert F. Kennedy. Obviously, y'all seen how he's went from being a Democrat to I think he's either the Free People's Party or the Green Party or whatever party he's decided to go with. But they're talking about, how, basically putting out promotion on how much better it would be if they could get him on the ballot in every different state. They're not talking shit. They're trying to sit here and influence us, the people, to encourage the party, multi-people party ballot, whatever the fuck, in every state. But regardless, she's just gonna make it seem like You stupid for even thinking this shit. He's spending tons of bread running in the motherfucking third party, but we stupid for just thinking that we can even vote for the shit? You stupid motherfucking bitch. Anyways, let's keep going.
For when it's all burnt down and there's smoke and ashes, what do you have for the people to survive on? What are you going to do when the GOP holds all the legislative power and cards in their hand and they make anything they want illegal and then going to throw your ass in prison for any fucking thing? What are you going to do then? And
They're going to throw your ass in prison for anything. They're going to do anything. Come on now. It's just fear mongering and scare tactics. None of this has been said. There has not been things that they've been putting out there saying that, look, niggas, if y'all vote for Trump after this election, nigga, we got all these bills ready to put through that's going to throw y'all niggas in chains and throw y'all back in. Just shut the fuck up.
I'll tell you right now, straight up. I don't want to fucking die for this country. I don't want to go through no more motherfucking pain or turmoil for this fucktastic ass country. My ancestors built this shit for free. I do not want to suffer at anybody.
That right there, that almost struck a nerve with me there. My ancestors built this shit for free, the way she yelled that, but she's using that as a motherfucking tool to try to fucking act. First of all, it was a hell of a lot of fake ass anger. My ancestors made this thing for free. Get this fucktastic ass country, whatever the fuck she said. Dude, like that part right there really got to me. Like at that point, nigga, I cleaned off this desk. I said, God damn it, nigga, I'm getting back on my goddamn videos. These motherfuckers got me fucked up. Y'all out here with this bullshit, spreading these lies, spreading this stupid, spreading this propaganda, this fear mongering, this whatever, blindly to the black community, and I can't stand it. And I can't stand by to just let this shit keep happening and not put something out there myself. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
Anymore for the sake of revamping this fucking country. But what I will do...
I'm not going to continue. Y'all can continue to watch that because she just goes off for another 6 minutes, and I'm not for sure how long this thing is going to record, and I'm doing something different. I'm recording. I'm not doing live. Next time, I'm just going to go fucking live because I don't want to have to deal with it. But let's just go up here and you look at right here.
Former President Trump is beating President... I've noted already today how former President Trump is beating President Biden in 5 out of 6 battleground states in a hypothetical matchup for the 2024 presidential race. That's the Times Siena College poll. Only 2% of registered voters in that poll said they would support another ill-defined candidate. But if Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s name is specifically added to that ballot as a third option, then nearly a quarter of voters said they would choose him over Trump or Biden. RFK Jr. polling between 22 and 26% of support among swing state voters in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, Nevada, Arizona, and Georgia. Among Gen Z and millennial voters, he's beating both Biden and Trump. And among independents in those battleground states, RFK showing a comfortable lead with 39% to Biden's 28 and to Trump's 25.
Please go to Kennedy24.com.
So that's what you do, is you decide to put out something that can be comparable, somebody that's influential that can really help to force, if possible, anything's possible, but help to force there to be an option for a third or multi-party ballot for the presidential election. That's what you do. You don't yell at niggas. And actually, that's why the only reason why he's doing it is because he said that he saw that the Democratic Party has lost its way. He would first decided to run as a Democrat because he said it lost. He said the Democratic Party has lost its way, and he wanted to be the one to bring that shit back. Now he's realized y'all niggas is hopeless. He's just gonna go over here and do third party shit. And here you are, and here this bitch right here is with her weird looking self sitting here talking about we're stupid for even thinking this shit. They're logically putting forth CNN polls for this shit. It's not some kind of weird thing, and it would only have happened had people not cared and started to complain and want to say that they weren't going to vote. They're only caring about it now because they're like, hey, look, there's a lot of people talking about not voting. we might as well get out there so that way we can actually change it up and be one of those people that they do vote for. So they're actually going ahead and doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? So, like, man, I'm going to have to stop this right here because I don't know how much longer this is going to go. I had a showrunner up there earlier. Obviously, I didn't mean to put that up there. But I'm gonna stop this from here. I'm definitely gonna go live. I don't know why I felt like I just needed some time to get back into the groove. I'm really not out of it too much. I didn't have too many mistakes, and I didn't want to get on here and make a bunch of mistakes and audio and shit like that and be live, and that shit gets annoying sometimes. So, anyways, I'm gonna holler at y'all next time.